Absolute Radio.
Hello and welcome to Not the Weekend podcast, our newly titled podcast with Absolute Radio. I'm Frank Skinner, I'm with Emily, and I'm with Gareth.
Wednesday morning.
See, we've thought it through.
Sounds a bit funny, that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good start. Anything that sounds a bit funny is in. No question about that. I'm just looking at that new poster that the Labour Party have done, showing David Cameron as Gene Hunt.
Oh, the Ashes to Ashes man.
Yeah. That's a mistake, isn't it? Because Gene Hunt's quite a cool character. And they're going to make him... It also says, don't let David Cameron take you back to the 80s. And I thought...
The 80s are very in.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are my best years, the 80s.
Yeah, I can start drinking again. That's it. I'm going to have to vote for him just for that reason. That's a terrible, terrible error.
So, I've got some news, guys.
Oh.
Well, I'm getting my fixtures and fittings attended to.
I beg
Now,
your pardon.
when I say that, I'm talking about my face furniture.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
I'll just say it in English. I'm
okay.
getting my teeth whitened.
Oh, God, I thought that was
wow.
going to be something about your face being used as a chair. I thought it was going to go somewhere very wrong.
I've decided to get my teeth whitened.
Oh,
I mean, I have to say, they're not kind of, Shane McGowan, Marky Smith levels at the moment. But I just think, got to take care of yourself.
Can I point out
Yeah.
that's a bit unfair on Mark?
Is it? Has he not got yellow teeth?
Well, there is a very famous story, or very famous if you're a Fall fan, story about Marquis Smith. And it involves, what was the name of that guy? He's called something like Nothing But the Boy. He used to wear a big woolly hat down to his eyes.
Oh, yeah, badly drawn boy.
Badly drawn boy. Badly drawn boy pulled up outside a club in Manchester, and Marquis Smith staggered out, completely drunk, and said to him, press switch player, gave him his address, thought he was a minicab driver. And Badly Drawn Boy was so intimidated, he drove Marquis Smith
Did he?
to his house. And Marquis Smith said, I don't have any money, but you can have this jacket. And he took off this leather jacket, and Badly Drawn Boy said, no, it's all right. And he said, oh, gave him the jacket and went. And about 3 days later, Badly Drawn Boy was cleaning out his car, and he found a set of false teeth in the back that had fallen out of the slumbering Marquis Smith. Now, there aren't many rock star anecdotes that include false teeth.
In that case, I take everything back.
Yeah, because I think he's in Steradent at night, so they're quite clean.
He's taking good care of them.
I'm not sure, it's a good idea.
Why?
Because it looks ridiculous.
I'm not going to get Jodie Marsh, more Simon Cowell.
Right, but Simon, there is something. People should grow with their teeth. I mean, my teeth, if anything, have excelled. I have the teeth of I was once third in a worst celebrity teeth.
Were you?
It's Shane McGowan, Ken Dodd, me. Yeah. Because my teeth are quite chipped and green, and they collect a lot of food.
Oh.
I mean, more than...
You want a floss.
You know what I mean by tramp teeth?
I very much know what you mean.
Yeah, well, that's what... If I was, say, locked in a room for 2 days, there would be enough food in my teeth for me to live on.
And the rest of us could live off it as well.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a true test. But
Can I just say, I think you have very nice teeth, actually, and you're being unduly hard on yourself. Yes.
Have you got your lenses in?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I can't believe. See, Gareth, I looked to Gareth then to join in, and he just backed off from saying anything. So what's the process?
I have laser whitening. So each teeth has a laser. You're both looking at me in this weird kind of horrified way.
Wasn't
Like,
laser whitening in Dynasty? Laser whitening the third. I remember him well. Yeah.
And the whole process, I don't know, it takes an hour and a half. But it does mean that I will have to amend my diet. Because there's no more red wine. Not that I drink red wine anyway. Who wants to have horrible Sean Hughes black marks on your teeth? I don't drink red wine.
I didn't know he was advertising black marks on your teeth at the moment. We can't do plugs like that, Em. You're not supposed to,
If there's a
endorse
National
products.
Smile Week, he'd do the opposite. It's National Keep Your Mouth Shut.
Oh, goodness.
I don't like him.
Hello, Sean, if you're listening.
I don't think he is.
Yeah, well.
He hasn't roused yet. So,
Hasn't roused for some years, from what I've heard.
How did this happen? I don't know. This is a comedy colleague of mine, a man I've known for many years and have had many lovely and warm conversations with. Stop it. Carry on with the white tea.
Sorry. Anyway, so so cranberries are going to be a problem, I'm
You
afraid.
can't eat stuff.
No, I just can't
What's
listen
the
to
point
them.
of...
So hold it. Cranberries. That's
Yeah.
a bit of a worry, isn't it? Because don't women need cranberries sometimes?
What? Oh, I see.
Cranberry juices.
Oh, no.
You just have to pour it straight down your gullet,
Yeah.
past the teeth.
Are you familiar with the 18th century female writer Fanny Burney?
No.
Well, there was no cranberries in the United Kingdom at the time, and she suffered accordingly. But now, women tell me that it's a great cure for the tingles.
Well, I don't really suffer from the tingles.
Okay, maybe you could take cranberry juice intravenously.
Well, I tell you what, a lot of the women's magazine people who have nice teeth, they all use straws. You use straws. You just have to take straws out with you
right.
when you have drinks.
Oh, I thought you meant when they were hiding in lakes.
Or you
They
could
do that quite a lot, apparently, on the royal grounds.
or you could just eat everything like a duck. Just go like that.
That was a
just
great
straight down.
impression.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
quite visual, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was quite visual, but I think people would be able to imagine it just from that laryngeal, I say, that laryngeal sound that you did. I think that's...
Anyway, I'll be getting them done, so I might even do a before and after, so the listeners can have a look on the website or something.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, but it looks so... I mean, I interviewed John Bon Jovi
Oh,
once, who, as you know, knows a lot about GOMS because his family developed Bonjela.
So
if you knew that. And his teeth look like they're made of porcelain. There is no... Not only are they incredibly white, I mean, whiter than anything you've ever seen, but you get like little channels and dents and things in teeth. There's none of that. They're perfect, absolutely perfect to the point where they don't look like they should be in a human being's mouth.
No, I know those teeth. I don't want them to be too like that. I want the odd imperfection. I can't be too perfect. But I just want, just want to tidy things up a bit. Sue me. What's wrong with that?
Okay, if you want to sue M, phone 15127.
I'm not sure that
Not
will
a real
stand up
phone
in
number.
court.
It's funny you should mention Bon Jovi,
Why?
isn't it, Gareth?
Yes.
Because there's been...
Gareth really picked that up and ran
yeah,
with it,
yeah,
didn't
he really did. There was
It'd
this...
be great if you two did a crime and were caught by the police and you started making up a story and you said, yeah, well, we went in there accidentally, didn't we, Gareth? I'd say we went in there accidentally. Hey. That'd be the end
Can you
of
imagine
that.
if we were like that canoe man and the wife? I'd be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
well, I hadn't seen him. You got amnesia, didn't you?
I do want to make a long canoe journey after spending time with you.
That's interesting. I want to make a long canoe journey across northern Canada. Maybe if we can find a long stream, I can be on the bank and you can be in the stream. What do you think?
Yes.
Would you settle for a kayak?
Yes.
I could do with one. Carry on.
Anyway, so there was this woman that's been in the papers because apparently her neighbours complained about her because she'd been playing Bon Jovi records all night long, and she was getting over an upsetting divorce. So she was playing specifically one Bon Jovi record, which was Living on a Prayer. Now, what I found a bit strange about this story was that I think that's quite a weird song to play repeatedly. Like, if you're kind of lamenting lost love, that seems quite an odd choice.
I don't know the lyrics to Living on a Prayer other than,
Well, the first lyric goes something like, Tommy used to work on the dock, union's been on strike. Unless she was married to like Arthur Scargill or something, I can't see how that would be relevant.
Well, maybe she was married to a representative of the trade unions. Then it would be particularly apt. Well, what does one? I think if I was in the middle of I mean, I've done that when you've split up with someone and you play, Roy Orbison records, Only the Lonely and all that. I love to wallow.
Oh, I love a wallow.
I do love to wallow in it. But I usually go for Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Because I think there's a sense of courage in the face of, the terror of being alone, the terror of singleness.
Yes.
Yeah, of standing in a bar alone, of having no one to go out with, and all that.
Or no one to call.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And, you know, I
You
ain't
two are
afraid
so
of no ghosts.
codependent.
It's just like I'm saying
no,
I ain't afraid of terrible, terrible, desolate, empty loneliness. It's just another way
I'm
of putting it.
codependent.
Very beautiful.
Exactly, yeah. And I think we've all ended up at the end of a relationship, you know, caked in ectoplasm and feeling afraid.
In an orange jumpsuit.
Yeah. Well, in the 80s we did. So the Labour Party will be looking forward to us all wearing those when Conservatives get in. Yeah, I used to live in a bedsit in Birmingham, and there used to be a sculptor who lived there. He's a completely mad bloke. He's always like covered in clay. Like he was consistently sculpting at 24 hours a day. Whenever you saw him, he was covered in clay.
Wait a minute, what you just said there was that was exactly the second verse of Living on a Prayer.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, very odd.
Yeah. And he only owned 2 records. He had a record player that he'd basically made. It was on 4 breeze blocks, and it had all sorts of wire hanging off it, bare wires. And all he played...
Otherwise, what, like furry? Sorry, we'll cut that out.
Yeah, we will not.
That's staying in.
Yeah, that's staying in. In fact, not only is that staying in, but if you die during the course of this programme, that's what we're going to play as the trailer of your tribute.
You're going to put that on the comedy carpet.
Yeah, I'm going to put that. I'm going to put that in the Gareth Richards time capsule, so that people from the future will see it as a representation of your work.
I'm happy with bare wires.
That was the bare wires guy, wasn't it? Yeah. Anyway, do you want to jump in my hover jet, and we'll go to Primark for some silver clothes. So, what I forgot what I was talking about now.
You were talking about a neighbour of yours who did something with clay or something.
All he ever played was Blue Monday by New Order, and
that can be depressing over and over.
and
It's a
Love
great song.
Missile. Was it called F1100 by
Six
Sputnik? And honestly, he just played them one. He'd play one, then he'd play the other, then one played the other out through the night. The odd thing is, I got to really like them. You know, it's all to drive you crazy. But I think the thing about Fall fans is that repetition is a big part. You know, there's a Fall song called Repetition, in which he says, he talks about the 3 R's: repetition, repetition, and repetition.
Wow.
He'd be no good on Absolute, would he, with the no repeat guarantee?
There's a Fall song called Everything, because they've done so many songs. They're the
Yeah.
most prolific band that's ever lived.
Well, they don't write about love much.
No.
And if you don't waste your time writing about love, because everybody writes about love, it's such a first port of call, you start writing about, various things, and it gets more interesting.
Mm.
Did you read about the MI5 thing, that they've got some old spies? I don't mean aftershave. They've got some old spies who... they can't use the internet and stuff, and it never really occurred to me that spies got old. Like, I always thought they'd be killed by the Russians by that time.
It is a young person's game, spying, isn't it?
It's just the fact that it exists.
Yeah.
I've known a few people who have been approached by MI5 and said, "Would you like to come and
Really?
spy for us?" Yeah.
Who, David Baddiel? I can't imagine that.
No,
He'd be a rubbish spy.
I think he worked for Mossad for a couple of years, but only advertising their evening suit hire service.
He doesn't have a great memory for names either, so I don't think...
Oh,
he'll
let
be
it
a man
go.
for
That was
particular
Saturday.
job.
That was Saturday
happened on
that happened.
Saturday.
You're still dwelling on it now.
Wow.
You make me sick.
You're gonna...
Frank's pregnant.
It's come down my nose and everything. So anyway,
Old
what was I
Spies.
talking- oh, yeah,
Old
sorry.
Spies.
and there was there was a book.
Jerry Halliwell.
There was a book about Jerry Halliwell. I'll just have coffee and cheese biscuits. What will you have, Jerry?
I do a service for celebrities. If they've eaten too much, I go round and make them sick.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's really so good. I try and do it during songs.
Are
Really,
you Heather
for
Mills? So, there's a book about how not to appear old. I actually have some. I have some bits from it here because
You were going to give it to me. Thanks.
First on this, try and remember people's names, because that makes you seem like you're going senile or something.
let
It
it
Just
go.
Oh.
Gavin, Don't say the doctor, policeman or teacher looks 12. It's become a standard joke among old people to describe
Oh,
the
yeah.
authority figure they've just encountered as being or looking 12. Do you do that, Em?
Oh, I do. I have started to do that. Isn't that terrible? Does that mean I'm old?
Well,
Well-
many things mean you're old.
Could be.
The amount of
Or
time
you-
you've
or it
been
could be
alive.
that maybe you live on the set of Bogsy Malone. You're just observant. There's some odd ones. It said, don't talk to strangers. It says, young people never talk
No,
to
that's true.
strangers.
That's absolutely true.
How do they get their drugs? Never talk to strangers. It says,
No, that's true, because old people, my mum always strikes up conversations that she can't just go into a shop and grab it like we would, sometimes paying for it. She'll just say things like, hello, I wonder if you can help me. I'd be very interested in purchasing some of those batteries. And then a man just goes, $2.99.
Yeah.
And you just think, no, Mum, you're never going to have that exchange that you wanted these days.
But surely that's it. This person who wrote the book says, if I start talking to strangers in the vicinity of my children, they react as if I've started singing Let's Get It On right there in the street. That's terrible if we can't talk to strangers.
I know,
isn't it?
I think that's sad, because, I love talking to a stranger. How
Yes, I
else
know
would I have
that.
a social life?
Well, yes, I agree. There's certain things I'm going to have to stop. I'm going to have to stop saying "thank you, driver."
You
when I
don't
get
say
off
that.
The bus. Yeah,
Well, like Sherlock Holmes or something. You don't really say thank you, driver.
and I might have to start signing off my letters "much obliged." As well. That's another. I'll tell you what I did have. I had some because one of the things it says how you press a door buzzer.
Yeah.
Really? How is that? How are you supposed to do it then?
It's to do with the use of the thumb, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's index. So old people use their index finger for everything. So
Well, it's a lonely old life.
whereas young people use their thumbs for everything. So, like for texting, I make a point now of trying to text with my thumb so that if people look over my shoulder, they'll think, oh, she can't be that old.
Well, somebody gave me some gloves, some West Bromwich Albion gloves, right? And they've got they've got the club badge in the palm, in each palm, and one of the thumbs had got a hole in it, and I said, "Oh, it's got the thumb's it's come unstitched," and they looked at me like I was very foolish. And it turns out that there's a little hole stitched in, like a little buttonhole, where
There's
you
not.
can bring your thumb out of the glove for texting purposes.
There's not.
Wow.
Yeah.
They only do that for your club, though, Frank.
Well, we are ahead of the game, I think it's fair to say. Yeah, so it's... I'll tell you what I have started doing, which is quite an old
What?
thing. You know, I mean, it's a cliché. I think you'll agree, it's a cliché to say that your ears get airy as you get older. And I honestly went to the barbers, and the bloke said to me, "Do you want me to do your ears as well?" I mean, that was when I first realised it got that bad.
Oh, you meant hairy. I actually thought you meant airy. I really did. Sorry, I thought you meant airy, like air circulated in them.
Oh, I'm sorry I didn't enunciate that well enough for you, madame. It's true. Do you want me to walk up and down with a book on my head? It's become some sort of finishing class.
Anyway, so your ears get hairy.
So what I've started doing is when I have a shave, I just keep going. So I've started using my razor. I mean, I have a wet shave, you know, with a foam and all that, and a
Do you?
brush. You know, when you use
When
a
you've
brush.
just said thank you, driver.
You know, the old badger. I use that, and then I just carry on and I shave with the shaver my ears. I find as you get older, you shave the shaving just keeps on going because there's hair growing out of your eyelids. It's coming out everywhere.
You do that with an electric razor, though, I presume. Otherwise, it'd be a sort of Sweeney Todd.
No, I
fest.
do it with the old T-bar.
Yeah,
my
that's
God.
why Frank's always bleeding from his ears. That's what it is.
I thought that was the fall that introduced that.
Yeah, listen to the full whack.
I think the things to not make you seem old is however young people talk and whatever words they use, just be cool with it. Just
Right.
say, oh yeah, it's cool, you know, it's how they talk, that's nice, you know, fine.
Like, what sort of thing?
So, you know, if they're like, oh wow, that's very cool, man, and brap, brap, brap in the house, yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2, 8, 12, 15, 8, 12, 15, go to the bridge, all that sort of thing. Don't worry about it, just go, oh, that's nice. And the other thing is, however we're...
You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
However low people wear their trousers,
Oh, I can't bear that.
Even
though.
if you can see the whole bum.
I saw that the other day. I saw
No,
the
I
whole
think you mean the
bum.
bum hole. I think that's how it's listed in the phone book. Whole bum.
But I saw that on the tube the other day. Yes, I get the tube. And there was a young gentleman, walking in front of me, and I saw the whole pant exposed. And I turned round to look at everyone else, assuming they'd be equally affronted, and I carried on like it was normal.
No, the youth. So now we are going to sound old, aren't we? But to hell with it. They don't seem to have picked up on the clue is in the name. Under.
Exactly. Imagine if I did that. Imagine if I just had my jeans there and great big pants exposed.
Hold on, let me just imagine that. I think that's all right. The thing is, women don't do it, do they?
No.
Well, a little bit. You sometimes see a bit
No.
of G-string above trousers.
Oh,
nowadays.
you dirty
It's
old
true.
pervert.
I
That's
believe you said that. You make me
That's
sick
true.
again.
That's the thing.
That's going to be another thing you'll be remembered for. You sometimes see a little bit of G-string.
Yes, we'll put that in the time capsule.
That's going to
as
be
well.
on the comedy carpet.
Well, I do go around chasing women and then trying to pull down their trousers.
I think we'll use that as a trailer. Just nothing around it, just you saying that.
Your Honour, I didn't mean that. It was a joke.
When
That's
I
what
first
we're
saw
doing.
it, though, I you know, when this theory that when one dies, the spirit leaves the body. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like the spirit of the person was rising up and leaving the genes behind. Like the genes was all that was left of the mortal body, that you just buried the genes. And this, you know, like a champagne cork halfway out the bottle. It looked like that he might continue going upwards, and we might stand there and watch him disappear, go through the clouds, and then look at the genes, and maybe for 3 or 4 seconds they stand of their own, and then they just steadily crumple, and that's the end of him. That's what I imagined.
Beautiful.
What I would worry more about is when I was a teenager, is that I'm not sure my pants were clean enough.
Yeah, well,
Well,
it
exactly.
encourages cleanliness in the underwear department, I think. I think it's a good thing.
Well, I suppose there is that.
As
because-
long as none of them go commando, that's not going to be a nice sight.
Yeah, you say that. You said it, but you said it with a horrible twinkle in your eye. The sort of thing one might see of a gypsy fortune teller talking. You know what I mean? That hee. That kind of look to me. Well, I won't be adopting it myself. How they keep the genes up at all. That's what amazes me. I mean, you know, when you see those in those rap videos, and they wear those enormous jeans, these big men, these big male rappers, wear these enormous jeans, and they're dancing and jumping about, and the jeans stay up. And I worked it out. That's why they have all those girls in thongs rubbing their bums all over them, just so there's something to hang the jeans on.
Oh. They might have a bit of sticky tape on their hips or something.
That, of course, is another possibility.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.